Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Wolf Creek. And this movie came out in 2005, and it is an Australian film, and I don't think I've reviewed many Australian films before. And going into this movie, I had basically no expectations because I didn't really know anything about it. And then when I started the movie, and we were about like 10 minutes in, I was really enjoying it, and overall, for the first half of the movie, I was loving it. I was so into it, and I really loved the tone of the film and how it was like presenting everything, and it was like a high point, and everything's going really well, and it slowly, gradually gets into like the story of the film, and it gets progressively darker, and I love all these things. And this movie is directed by Greg McLean, and I believe this was his first feature film, and for a first feature, I think this is a really good movie, and I loved how this movie looks, and the music, it's just ambient noises, and it's not really going for like actual notes from memory, and there's a ton of stuff like that to appreciate within the film, and it did remind me of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and how things were presented in that film, and slowly getting darker and building up to like what will eventually happen, because this is a horror film. You're expecting something horrific to happen, and you do get that, and when it first starts, I think it's executed pretty well. And there are moments in the second half of the movie that I really like. Unfortunately, the second half of the movie ruined the movie for me. And it just turns into a dumb, stupid horror movie where characters make some really stupid decisions that make you roll your eyes. And there's just... what happened? My biggest issue with this movie is that I hated the villain of the movie. I thought he was awful, not in the way the film was intending to be awful. Like, the antagonist of the film is an awful person. However, the way the film treats this character, I just can't stand it. And there are points where he's supposed to be intimidating and like a force to be reckoned with, and how they handle it is just so goofy and stupid. I hate it. And it just conflicts with the tone of the film, and it doesn't complement the film. And I know in a film like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre that it's supposed to be like horrific and also at some points kind of goofy and silly, because that's what's happening. But things were presented way better in that movie, and it had reveals that I felt were like earned, and I was like on board with it. However, with this movie, I'm just not with it, because the villain of the film is just invincible throughout the entire film. There's literally a point where they just do the classic, he can do anything and he's invincible. Like, he literally gets shot in like the neck, and for the rest of the movie, after that point, they just treat him as though nothing happened, and throughout the physical performance of the character, like nothing happens. Like that didn't even, it didn't hurt, it didn't penetrate, or nothing. And that really bugged me. And they also just have characters just appear out of nowhere, out of thin air, and there's some really bad dialogue in this movie that's just handled so poorly. And I appreciate things about this movie, and I like that this is a low-budget film, and it looks better than like a $1 million film. I'll give it that. But to go back to the characters, like not ignoring the antagonist of the film, the main characters, the three main group of characters, I like them in the first half, but in the second half, they're like changing the way that you thought that they were in the second half, and I could not get on board with that. And there's just so many things that are just stupid, and I just wish that they understood what type of movie that they were making better. I'm sorry, I can't give this movie a pass just because it's a horror movie when characters make stupid decisions that just defy all logic, and I can't get behind it. And this is just one of the most disappointing movies I've ever seen in my life. I was absolutely enjoying the movie for the first half of the movie. Second half really let me down. It was so disappointing. And if you want to check this movie out, watch the first half and then shut it off. Because after that point, it starts to get bad. Or maybe you'll actually like it. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong and maybe this movie is scary to you. But for me, I just can't get over with the horror that this movie presents. Like, conceptually, I should like it, and I do like what happens off screen and what's supposed to be implied, but what we do see on screen, I hate. I hated it. So, middle of the road, and it's just frustrating. So, sadly, I'll never be watching this movie again because I don't want to be frustrated while watching a movie. I really don't. And that's how I feel about this movie. So, with all that being said, I'm going to give Wolf Creek a 5 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos. As always, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below what you thought of Wolf Creek, and my social media links. They will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Black Klansman. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.